Welcome to the NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. It does not get better than this. Omaha or bust here in Austin, Texas. Game 3 between the Longhorns and the Golden Eagles of Tennessee Tech. Longhorns trying to go to Omaha for the 36th time. Tennessee Tech for the first, and what will be the final home game for Cody Clemens. Game number 1 belonged to Tennessee Tech. Ethan Roberts clutch out of the pen, allowing 1 run in the final 4. They get the 1-run victory, moving them to the doorstep of Omaha. Game 2, Cody Clemens goes yard again, flashes the hook'em statement made by the Longhorns. They win game 2, 4-2. And for the first time in the history of the Super Regional era, we have 6 deciding game 3s. Last night, 2 of them were played, with Washington and Mississippi State both advancing and doing so in extra innings. 4 of those today here on the ESPN family. And we start right here in Austin, Texas. I'm Lowell Galindo here with the 3-time All-American Keith Moreland. Cody Clemens already has left the yard twice through 2 games here in Austin. So if you're Tennessee Tech, the question has to be, why do you even pitch to this guy at this point in time?
I'm not sure why I would. I know I wouldn't be at this point. They've tried to pitch around him at times, and he still hurt him. They tried to go up and away from him in game 1. Still got a ball out of the zone, hit it out of the ballpark. Then with nobody on in a tie game in yesterday's ball game, they come right back and they attack him 3-2 right down Broadway. And right now, with his launch angle and how he's seeing the baseball, you can't throw the ball to him. Somebody else in the Texas lineup would have to beat me if I was Tennessee Tech.
Offense, offense, offense for Tennessee Tech. We've talked about that in depth. Now, 135 home runs on the year, by far the most in the BB Core era. But Keith, they've got 14 hits. 11 of those are singles. Where are the extra base hits?
Well, that's what they need to find a way to get back to. That's their style. They hit the ball in the ballpark, obviously, more than any other team in the nation. They also use slugging percentage and do it in different ways. A lot of doubles, a lot of triples. The number that jumps off the page, obviously the one on the right are not good, but how about at the bottom? Almost half of their slugging percentage. Great offenses, it's about OPS. You see that people make money over OPS at the next level. Slugging, on base, they haven't got it done so far in this series.
Partner, you ready to go?
I am ready to rock.
We've got 8 teams left. Only 4 will advance to Omaha. All the games coming up on the ESPN networks. If you think the moment will be too big for Matt Braga and Tennessee Tech, you are wrong. They've won 3 straight elimination games. If they can make it 4, they're going to Omaha. But for the lineup, Keith, Kevin Stroschein, the OVC Player of the Year, has to get it going. He's 0 for 8 in the Supers.
He's 0 for 8 here. He is hitting 103 in the postseason. He is a really good offensive player. Folks, he was up around 390 when this postseason started. So he's got to get it going, and he's going to be facing the right-hander Matteo Bocchi. A little bit of a surprise start. A young man from Parma, Italy. 5 years ago, he was living in Italy. Now he's pitching in a super regional with a ticket to Omaha on the line. You can see he's got to control his fastball, pitch ahead. He's got a really good sinker. That's his out pitch.
Alex Jr. leading off for the Golden Eagles. He's led off the first 2 games here in Austin with strikeouts. First offering for Bocchi. Called for ball 1. Comes back with a swinging strike, and it's 1-1.
We'll go back to when you're a young man that made his way through high school, didn't get a lot of baseball education, made his way to Odessa College out in Odessa, Texas, and now made his way pitching into this regional. Can he control his emotions? And that's the important thing. He's got good stuff, good sink to his fastball, 89, 90, but he's got to throw strikes, Lowell.
And there's another one. Strikeout number 1 for Matteo Bocchi. They call him the Italian Stallion.
Now this is pinpoint control with his fastball. We talked about good movement. He just starts this ball out away and runs it to the outside corner. Dynamite pitch right there. And you're not going to do anything with velocity down and away, especially slugging percentage.
No joke. Bocchi literally learned how to pitch on YouTube. Watched videos in his native Italy. As this one gets by DJ Petrinsky as Vinny Kalevahea steps in. Watched YouTube videos and was so good at so many different things that the big focus has been trying to whittle that skill set down and find a few things that he can be great at. Up the middle, David Hamilton on it. Jake McKenzie, does he get his foot on the bag in time? Yes, he does. And that has been one of the stars of the Super Regional round for Texas. He's been a mainstay defensively over at first base.
Routine ground ball right here, and Hamilton comes up, throw a little bit offline like he got underneath it, but I tell you, you're absolutely right. Jake McKenzie has solidified this infield defense for Texas.
Could that be some early moment jitters with a game like this from David Hamilton?
I tell you what, nerves are going to play a major part in this ball game. After this pitch, I think it will. The team that wins today will be the one that manages, especially early in the game when the emotions are so high. What's on the line, and who can stay composed? As Augie Garrido, the ex-coach here at the University of Texas, said, "Pressure is what you put on yourself." There is no pressure. You allow it to affect you. So just play the game.
Called strike to make it 1-2 to Kevin Stroshine, 0 for 8 in the Austin Super Regional.
In game one of this regional, two-strike hitting was so important. That's what helped the Golden Eagles come away with a victory. See if they can get that done here today.
First 4 base hits in game one, all with 2 strikes. Kalevahea had a big one to drive in 2 in the 3rd inning to give Tennessee Tech the 2-1 lead. Texas has started off with the lead in the first 2 games.
Got him set up for a slider right here. Started out like a strike and break it off the plate.
Popped up, Bokey points it out. McKenzie calling off Clemens, but Clemens will take it. 3 up, 3 down here in Austin. In his 7th year as a head coach, trying to advance to Omaha for the first time ever. His Texas lineup hitting only .203 in this Super Regional. Most of the production, no surprise, coming from Cody Clemens. But one of these surprises has been Jake McKenzie, who's 4 for 7 with 3 doubles.
Well, he's done an outstanding job. Moved up in the lineup, a little bit of a change in the Texas lineup yesterday. Not the guys that are playing, but where they hit in the order. And they'll face a left-hander here today. When you look at Hershey, for me, the first thing you think about, he's a junior. He's been around for a while. He's been in an elimination game. Missouri State in the regional. Comes out, all he does, Lowell, is go 9 innings. Allowed 3 hits, walked 1 and struck out 5 and came away with a victory. He throws both the 2- and 4-seamer. He's gonna hit 89, 90. He's not a big power pitcher. Sliders his out pitch. He will use it, especially with all the left-handed hitters in the Texas lineup. Can he get ahead where he can get to his slider will be the key.
At the first hint of trouble, it's a no-doubter. Ethan Roberts will be available and ready to enter this game for the Golden Eagles. David Hamilton leading off. He's 0 for 5 in the Austin Super Regional.
Well, you always worry about, can you stay composed? Can you do the things you need to do? I mean, this is a veteran guy. He came out in a big game before.
Chops it to David Garza. And a good job by Chase Chambers with the stretch. Something to watch for as well defensively for Tennessee Tech. The health of Trevor Putzig over there at the hot corner. He's been dealing with a hamstring injury. Really didn't play too much in the final 2 weeks of the regular season, but he has made his return. Was not 100% with that hammy in the regional round, and it appeared he tweaked the hamstring a day ago. A bunt from Duke Ellis, right back to Hersey, and the throw is on time, on spot, and there's 2 quick outs.
You got to have a little bit more sense of urgency right there, because Ellis was booking it down the line, and just getting, you think the bunch right back out in front of you, and you just go, all right, got an out. Hey, sometimes guys can run. That was very close. I'm not throwing a strike here, by the way. Just thought I'd tell you, even early in the game.
Well, fortunately for Tennessee Tech, when Cody Clemens has done his damage, it has all been minimal damage. The 2 home runs have both been solo home runs. His double to start game number 2 yesterday drove in only 1 run.
The reason he is in line to be maybe one of the players of the year in college baseball is his adjustment here in his junior campaign against left-handed pitching.
Rip off the glove of Chambers. And Cody Clemens is aboard. No shocker for the fans here in Austin.
And that's the adjustment I was talking about. Staying in there on that breaking ball. Getting the barrel of the bat to it. It's been a good adjustment. He just continues. You can see, really struggled. Almost doubled up his average. Man. 7 more homers against left-handed pitchers than he had last year.
Now this is the guy that Texas really needs to get going. It's Zach Zubia. He will have his chances, especially if the Golden Eagles elect to pitch around Clemens. He's 1 for 7 with 2 strikeouts. And Hershey delivers strike 1.
Excellent mound presence right now. Pitches from the third base side of the rubber. Tries to use that 2-seamer at times and run it away to get the ground ball.
Way outside. Kalevahea jumps out to corral it. Texas has scored in the first inning in the first 2 games of this Super Regional. A good rip to center. Alex Jr. is back and makes the catch. So 1 base hit allowed to Cody Clemens, but nothing on the board as we go to the second.
CAA Baseball Super Regionals is presented by the Capital One Venture Card. Earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day. What's in your wallet? And in part by Golden Corral's sizzling fajita nights. Every night, just $13.99.
It has been an awesome atmosphere here in Austin, Texas. The Tennessee Tech faithful, they've done a fine job showing up from Cookeville, Tennessee to represent their Golden Eagles. As you see, the wind will be a factor. Going out to left field, 15 to 20 miles per hour. Tennessee Tech, representing the Ohio Valley Conference, did not win the tournament, got in as an at-large, a number 2 seed regionally, which says a lot about how good this team is, because typically smaller conferences, it's either you win your conference tournament or you're watching the big one from home.
They put the shift on with Reynolds, the third baseman, playing rover in left field for Chambers. What a year this young man has had. 84 RBIs on the year.
He is your national leader in that department. Has a wall ball double to center field. Narrowly missing a home run, but driving in 2 to give Tennessee Tech the lead for good in game number 1. That is ridiculous. 84 RBI. But this team has routinely shown they are the real deal. 53 wins, the most in D1 baseball this season. And the way they got here, unforgettable, winning 2 elimination games on Monday in Oxford to advance. This one to left field. Mason Hibbler makes the grab, and there's 1 down.
Changeup. Bokey had Chambers out in front. Your hands drag when your body's out in front. Got him to pop up.
And that changeup has been a recent development.
It has. He
was
a split guy, which is what he really wanted to throw, but he was really talking about it. It's been so dry in Texas that Coach Pierce told us earlier today he's gone away from from the split to a changeup.
And here is Putzig, and it's tough right now to see this young man take hacks like that. He is playing through pain. The hamstring is not 100%. He tweaked it yesterday.
You can tell that he's trying to do everything he can do to help his team.
Yeah, there was no doubt with the coaching staff that he was going to play in this game today.
He had to make a play in yesterday's ball game, Lowell, that really, you can tell he tweaked it again trying to make a throw, and it really, people don't understand how important a hamstring is to hitting, and you can see right there.
If it is an infield ground ball, you will probably not see him hook it down the line.
He still has the ability, though, with one swing of the bat to get you a quick one. He's got great power.
Lifted. Hamilton back into left field. Hibbler will call him off for the second out here in the top of the second.
When you look at the Golden Eagles, you know, this is not a one-time thing. They've been winning games for a while now. This is their 6th appearance in the NCAA tournament. The first time they've reached the Super Regional and the Super Regional final for sure. One step away from punching their ticket to TD Ameritrade in Omaha.
David Garza has the lone home run for the Golden Eagles in this Austin Super Regional. First pitch that he saw against Blair Henley out of the bullpen nearly hit the scoreboard in left center field. Home run number 135 for Tennessee Tech this season. And it's not just this tournament that they have been very good. You go back to last year's tournament, since the start of that NCAA run, Tennessee Tech has not lost a tournament game by more than 2 runs. And when you consider the teams that those close losses are against, it's Auburn, Florida State, Ole Miss, and Texas.
Oh, they're right there. They stay in the ball game. We talked about they haven't had their slugging. You know, they're a team of power, but they have pitched and played defense and stayed right in games, even when they hadn't hit the ball in the ballpark.
1-2 to Garza.
Right now, both these pitchers, they're in control. They're commanding the moment. Their mound presence is good. They're attacking the strike zone, putting pressure on the hitters.
Flared up the middle. Clemens judging the hop. And another 3 up, 3 down for Mateo Boki. What are we playing for? Omaha, of course. Texas has been there more than anybody. The Golden Eagles, never. An unforgettable super regional round of this NCAA tournament. North Carolina, Oregon State, UW, and Mississippi State all advancing to Omaha, with North Carolina and Oregon State the first to do that.
I'll tell you what, last night I had picture-in-picture at the ending of that.
Did you make it up the whole time?
I stayed. How can you get away from it? It was must-see TV.
And the way those games ended, not just going to extra innings, but teams going back and forth in extras when it looked like maybe a 2-spot, a 3-spot would be enough just to see an answer.
Not in either ball game.
4 walk-offs, 2 of them on Sunday. And that Mississippi State Vanderbilt Super Regional, that is one of the best series of baseball, especially on this level, that you will see.
Well, you had walk-off by both teams on the first 2 games, and then State gets a 2-run lead. You think it's over in the 9th? Not hardly. But they found a way to punch their ticket.
First time ever, 6 deciding game 3s in the Supers. First 3-ball count for either team today leads to a leadoff walk for DJ Petrinsky. Tim Corbin, all class. The head coach at Vanderbilt said after the loss about his guys on both sides. They can play professional baseball, but they won't play in meaningful games like this. I just wish they would realize that when they look at college baseball and understand they won't get this again, this won't happen again. His point that even when you start playing pro ball, unless you're getting into the Major League Baseball playoffs, you're not going to have that type of intensity and atmosphere in a high-stakes game like they play.
Bunt situation popped up.
Pops it up right into the glove of Caleb Bahia.
Got to execute in these scenarios. Absolutely. Just to finish that real quickly, professional ball at the minor league level is about development. It's not about winning games that much. It's developing yourself as a player, and the development teams and the minor league coaches and staff are developing you to become a big league player. Much different. College, there's so much emotion involved in this that you just don't see until you get to, quote unquote, the playoffs in the big league level.
And sometimes it's a very quick realization that it's different. Brooks Kieschnick is one of the greatest college players of all time. He told me he got that wake-up call first year in the minors. They were down to the wire to try to get into the playoffs, and he saw some of his teammates not having that fire, because for them, some of them didn't want to make the playoffs, so it was the start of their summer. And at that point in time, he realized it was a much different dynamic on the pro level.
All of a sudden, command a problem. Good count right here. You could possibly hit and run, put a little pressure on. David Pierce is not really a station-to-station guy. He will apply some pressure.
Mason Hibbler has really struggled. 0 for 6, 4 strikeouts in the Super Regional. Did have a key sac bunt that led to a run yesterday. And it's 3-1.
It's a good count to put him in motion right here. Force the defense for the Golden Eagles to try to make a play. You also got to have faith in your hitter that he can make contact here.
Hibbler swinging through it, full count.
If you don't run 3-1, I don't think you'll run 3-2 here, even though the book, there is a book, sort of everybody knows how to play. And you get to this point, you throw away the book.
Runner was in motion. Hibbler gives it a ride. Colin Harris is back off the wall. Petrinsky had to check up to make sure that fell. He does not score. But Hibbler's first hit in the Super Regional puts 2 in scoring position.
Caught it out on the end of the bat, but this is the breeze going to left. Ball's going up that direction. Will get carry all ball game long. And you can see Harris, he's right there. He sort of doesn't get back and finds the wall. That's one of them. If you're a young outfielder, go find the wall. You know, you've taken BP. You've seen what's happening. The ball's going to carry. You got to get back, see if Texas can take advantage of it.
Harris has had a few misplays out and left here at UFCU Disch-Falk Field. Tate Shaw the batter. His older brother Colin was a part of the last Texas team that played in Omaha in 2014. And Hershey is up 0-2. Caleb Bahia wants a timeout.
He got crossed up. Really fortunate to catch this ball. This is when you go out and you say, all right, now what sign are we using? What's going on? Because he was totally crossed up, able to catch it. But watch, immediately, he thinks it's going to be a breaking ball. He called timeout. I go, okay, wait. Let's get on the same page. what sign you're going to use with a man on second. You're looking for the strikeout here. That's a helpless feeling as a catcher. You thinking you've
been there.
You're looking for the local and get the express, you're in trouble.
Speaking from experience, Keith Moreland. Defensive swing. Putzig will go home. The tag in plenty of time. And what a defensive play by Trevor Putzig, but he is in pain.
He is really hurting. He had to get in position. You forget about your injury when you've got to make a play. And he had to come in, he had to bend down, had to get rid of it in a hurry. What a gutsy young man to stay here and play. This might be it. He has done everything he can do to perform to this point.
And that is an enormous play here early for Tennessee Tech. Looks like he's going to stay in. They call him Sparky.
I call him tough. We saw him make a play yesterday, a crucial point of the game. It's just when you have to get down, you go everything at full speed, and then right there, once you get rid of it, you feel that thing. He almost went to his knees after he made the play at the plate. Didn't panic, and an excellent throw, and then almost goes down right there as he delivers the baseball.
How about the decision for Petrinsky trying to score on that play?
Well, he was on contact play. That's told by Sean Allen, the third base coach for Texas. Hey, we're going on contact.
Can Alex Hersey get out of the early jam? It was second and third, one out. Now he's one out away. First pitch ball to Ryan Reynolds.
Texas will, again, be aggressive. That has been their style. Would not, and Shaw's got decent speed. You could see maybe try to steal a run here.
Reynolds had a bloop double to left field that drove in a run in yesterday's game too.
Might happen when you get two strikes. It's when you feel like, all right, advantage pitcher, then we'll try to maybe start a runner early from first so that they can't create a mistake. And now would be that time. See him come out and make the sign. This is when you remind your infield. All right, this is what we're going to do if he breaks early. You got to remind your pitcher, step off first. You see it right there. Did a nice job. Step off and then look at the guy at third. Young pitchers, especially young left-handed pitchers. Get your foot off the bag. Don't worry about the guy going to second. He's wanting to draw a throw. The guy you're trying to protect is the runner at third. Had a pitch to hit there.
These are the moments that define the road to Omaha. 13 driven in with 2 outs. Second best on the team for Reynolds. Driven to left center. Off the wall. 1 run is around. Here comes Shaw. And Texas strikes with the first two.
When you got to get it in there, when you get 2 strikes and you come back with the fastball, you got to get it in there. He was trying to come in, that time with the cutter or four-seamer, just left it more over the middle of the plate. Reynolds put a charge into it. We talked about the breeze. Well, once that ball got up into that breeze, no chance for the outfielders to get to it.
For the 3rd straight game here in the Austin Super Regional, Longhorns score first, 27-4. Keep in mind, Tennessee Tech handed them one of those 4 losses in game number 1. David Hamilton now with 2 outs. It gets away from Caleb Bahia, but Reynolds will stay at second. And we told you it would not take long. Ethan Roberts, the electric 4th-round pick, the standout of the Tennessee Tech bullpen, is now getting loose.
Crossed up again. You know, there's times that you may change between pitches, even counts, or this sign, odd counts, or this sign. I kind of like first after 2, second sign. Something is pretty simple. It's hard to relay it from second back to the hitter.
Percy comes back with the strike. Hamilton still hitless in this Super Regional. Percy was 1 pitch away from getting out unscathed. Hamilton right into the mid of John Hamm. But how close this was to being a different type of outcome. Tennessee Tech, 2 strikes on that man, but Ryan Reynolds delivered, and it's 2-0. The road to Omaha, passing through Austin, Texas. One of these teams will be taking the next leg. Will it be Tennessee Tech or the Longhorns? As Texas holds the 2-0 lead going to the top of the 3rd. This is blue blood versus blue collar. Texas has been there, done that. Tennessee Tech, the new kids on the block. But Matt Braga, their head coach, in season number 15, he's got something really special going here with the Golden Eagles. And it's been a long building job for Braga when you consider this team went 13-42 in his first full season, followed by an 18-36 mark the next year. But this is a force to be reckoned with. Things can change quickly with this Golden Eagles lineup.
Well, from top to bottom, they're a really good offensive club, and you got to attack the strike zone. Mateo Boki has struggled first pitch strikes, but he's had good enough stuff, even in a fastball count, to get the fastball by some of these hitters from Tennessee Tech.
Here's Nick Osborne, manning right field for the Golden Eagles. Little tight. Osborne 2 for 8 in the Super. He was clutch on the mound and at the dish in the regional win against Ole Miss. 2 home runs the first time they played the Rebels, and pitched the final 3 innings to get that narrow win to advance here to Austin.
Always watch how a pitcher comes back after his team gives him the lead. First batter usually gives you a good indication. He fell behind. Now he's made a good 3-1 pitch. Can he make a 3-2 pitch to get an out here? That's a good indication of how he's going to respond to having the lead.
15 straight retired by Mateo Boki in the tournament. Pitched 3 innings against Texas Southern in the opener. There goes that as Osborne, the first Golden Eagle aboard.
Good offensive teams find a way to respond. And this is a good offensive team, Tennessee Tech. They can respond right now.
For a team that does not steal much, Osborne is their best threat, along with this man, Colin Harris. Osborne 7 of 8. Chop to Hamilton, to Clemens, to McKenzie, not in time. Harris legs it out.
Good fastball in on the hands of Harris. Get to second. Good turn by Clemens. It's that bang bang play at first. Opportunity to see it again. That replay, Tennessee Tech may have gotten a break. This is so hard at full speed. When you're running that at full speed, it's hard to see. It's so close. It's just hard to see. We can slow it down and see the difference.
Tennessee Tech 2 for their last 20 with runners on. And that is laced into left field by John Hamm, and something cooking for the Golden Eagles.
Mateo Boki that time started him off with a breaker ball, just left it upstairs.
They're pretty good though when your number 9 hitters hitting .318. Back to the top of the lineup, and Alex Jr. Jr. struck out his first time up. Junior was part of the scariest moment here in this Super Regional as he took one off the cheek from Josh Sawyer. Fortunately for him, it got a piece of his shoulder first. I don't know if there's any fortunate part about that, though, when you still take one pretty good off the cheek. Team trainer saying an inch higher, inch lower would have been some serious damage. Reynolds giving it a look. 1 row foul.
It's a scary moment. That took his time.
Stayed in the game. And it's like Putzig right now. This group, you know, you're going to have to drag them off the field to get them off. They want this.
They're competing.
As Parker Joe Robinson now warming up in the Texas bullpen. Junior with the bunt. Boki slips, slides, in time. That's a heck of a play off the mound for Mateo Boki.
Did a nice job right there. Getting to the ball, fielding it all in the same motion to get the out. He knew he had to get it, get rid of it. Phil Hegg, the pitching coach, to go out. Make sure you're on the same page. You got your game plan of what you want to try to use. Game, especially the college game, is so much about momentum. You don't see it at the big league level as much where you see momentum change in the game. Texas has gained the momentum, but boy, if the Golden Eagles can come back and
it changes quickly.
It changes so quickly. You can put run on the board, the emotion in the dugouts, everything.
And Josh Sawyer and Parker Joe Robinson getting loose. And once it comes to a close for Boki, whenever that is, you're going to see a lot of matchup pitching from Texas. And that was Putzig And the dugout for Tennessee Tech, no way he's missing his opportunity. So here we go, runners on second and third for Benny Kalevahea. 2 down. First pitch strike from Bokey.
It's pumped up. 93 miles an hour on the big board.
Lately, that velo has been better than ever for Bokey, running it up to 94, 95. Petrinsky with the block. Outside, ball 2.
Best hitting count of the at-bat right here. You can look for a ball in the zone you like. Second time through, so you've seen him for the second time. We're not going to pull the trigger on that.
Hanging on every pitch. Had better than 7,000 in the stands for game 2. Early start time, so it's been a late arriving crowd. But they are here and getting loud. There's Nolan Kingham, game 1 starter. He could have availability later in this game. Bokey escapes. 2-0 Texas.
Comes back to the inside fastball, freezes him.
Tuesday, we'll have a special night of baseball. During the Mets-Braves game, we'll feature Hank Aaron videos, so he'll even join the booth for at least 4 innings. Our coverage starting at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN, and you can also watch on the ESPN app from anywhere. Duke Ellis leading off the bottom of the 3rd as Alex Hersey is back out for another inning of work. We saw Ethan Roberts, all-everything competitive moment guy / closer, starting to get warm. Duke Ellis, his dad, former major league pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Robert was part of the 2001 World Series championship team. Some good bloodlines all across college baseball at this stage. 3-2 from Hersey to Ellis. Ryan Reynolds, who drove in The 2 runs for Texas. Son of a major leaguer as well, and Shane Reynolds, and 2 of the best playing college baseball right now with fantastic bloodlines. As Griffin Conine, the son of Jeff Cody, the son of Roger, AKA the Rocket, as Hersey gets Ellis down on strikes. For the record, Jeff Conine, 5-16 all time against Cody Clemens' father, Roger. Both Cody and Griffin high draft picks. Conine will join Cody Clemens' older brother, Casey Clemens, in the Blue Jays organization.
Both of them were outstanding big leaguers, to say the least.
And we'll see Griffin Conine and Duke in action next right here on ESPN2 as they play a deciding Game 3 in Lubbock against Texas Tech. Hersey staying away from Clemens. Red Raiders trying to make it to Omaha for the 3rd time in the past 5 years.
One thing that Clemens has done in this outstanding year is his ability to hit left-handers. We gave you that earlier, but the other part of that is he's had the ability to go the other way and hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Harris is back. He accelerates. His ball is carrying, and it's gone. His 3rd home run of the Supers. Will it be his last here at the Dish?
Can't throw him a strike.
Honestly, why isn't it an intentional walk every time it comes up?
He's just 72nd RBI of the year. And he's had that ability to go the other way, especially against left-handers. Hits it out of the park.
24 home runs, 2nd most in D1 baseball. And that now moves him 4 shy of Kyle Russell for the all-time record back in 2007. Now he's doing this in the BBCOR era, which is quite remarkable. And I know you compare it to Kyle Russell in 2007. You had the live bats.
Well, the baseball's changed this year. It's much better than it has been.
Dimensions have changed as well. They are now a little friendlier, but still for him to be within 4 of that mark is awfully impressive. Five home runs in his last 5 games. He has made his case for the Golden Spikes and the Dick Howser in moments where it matters the most, here in the postseason. Zubia down on strikes. You were just talking about him going oppo, and then he does exactly that.
Well, that's what's made a difference. That's why he's the player he is right now. He's seeing stay with this ball away. He's not thinking pull right there. He says stay with it. He's got a great launch angle, and then the last part of it, he understands. He took BP today. He knows what the breeze is doing. Get the barrel on it, gets it out of here.
David Pierce, before the game, he's been around some amazing players in his career. Won a national championship as an assistant coach at Rice. He's been asked many times to compare this to somebody, and he can't. He's never been around a player that is as locked in as Cody Clemens. DJ Petrinsky using the breeze, and gone.
Second time in the ball game with 2 strikes. Seen the big left-hander try to get in there, try to get that fastball in, and both times he's left it more in the middle of the plate, and Texas hitters have made him pay for it.
And Roberts is now getting warm once again as Coach Braga comes out. Petrinsky now 3 home runs in the NCAAs. David Pierce called him the surprise clutch player of their regional win here in Austin. Path that took them through Texas Southern, Texas A&M, and Indiana.
Coach Braga right here, this is a scenario where he says we got to keep it close, stay within ourselves, and make sure we're making our pitches. They have a really good offensive club. They see this breeze blowing out. They've hit more home runs than any team in America. So if they can find a way, they just try to stay in touch. That's what you got to do in this scenario.
4 home runs in the Super Regional for Texas. A lone home run from Alex Garza by the team that has hit more than any this entire year. And the question for me coming into this game was, if Texas was going to win, how many runs could they get before Tennessee Tech turned it over to Ethan Roberts?
He's been outstanding, but he's also thrown an awful lot of pitches here in the postseason. When you strike out the side, you don't feel like that you're going to give anything up. Well, that's not the case. Opposite field, and then a pull home run on the ball up.
Austin now joined by the head coach of Tennessee Tech, Matt Braga. And coach, your team is down right now. You had a message for them in the dugout. How much of that can you share with us?
Well, I can tell you exactly what I said. I mean, we're an offensive-driven program, and not that our pitching isn't really good and our defense isn't really good, but we do lead the country in a lot of offensive categories, and we're letting the fastball just dominate us today, and that's not like us. And I just told our guys, man, we got to hunt the fastball. We got to get the foot down and get the bat head out, and we got to make a run offensively, because if we're going to win this game, that's the only way we're going to be able to do it.
Coach, when you look at that scenario, it's about getting something started, get some emotion going.
Yeah, no question about it. Their guys done a great job of sending our guys back to the dugout, not getting a lot of momentum. And, you know, last inning we finally had a couple base runners and, you know, that type of thing. We really need that ball to drop. So I'm glad that thing dropped, because we need a little momentum right now, guys.
That's how you start it. Kevin Stroshine breaking through his first base hit of the Austin Super Regional. Coach, we appreciate your time.
All right, thank you, guys.
A resilient bunch for Tennessee Tech, and it could be a different story if that young man really gets it going. The OVC Player of the Year finally breaking through.
Well, he's got an outstanding swing. You saw that ball just explode off his bat. He just didn't get any elevation on it, Lowell, or that ball's way out of here. And a great effort by Hibbler to try to get to it. He's converted. Hibbler is a converted infielder. And one of the things he'll learn if he stays in the outfield, there's no fence behind. There's only a fence behind you. Don't leave your feet. Take a better angle. Might have held that to a single.
This is when it gets really scary for the Golden Eagles lineup. Chambers, Putzig, Garza, all with 17 home runs apiece. This is the same group, however, that Texas had to navigate with Blair Henley to close it out for the Game 2 win.
It's an old term. He's talking about it right here.
Hunt the fastball. We're an offensive team. That's how we've won games. That's how we're going to win this one. Chance for Clemens. McKenzie secures it at first. One down. Stroshon moves to third.
Well, that's a productive out right there. It just get some momentum on your side. You got to find a way to double, get him over, get him in if you're Tennessee Tech. And so this becomes a big at bat right here, especially with the infield back. Now, sacrifice fly sort of kills the rally, but it does get you on the board.
We'll see what Trevor Putzig has left in the tank. The hamstring has been an issue. In the second inning, he tweaked that hamstring once again, making a throw home. A fantastic throw, by the way. And it looked like, after Matt Braga paid him a visit, he was on the cusp of being removed from the game, but he has stayed in it. And looking here to get the Golden Eagles on the board. To right field. It's got the carry, but foul. .55 pitches now from Mateo Boki. Josh Sawyer and Parker Joe Robinson both were warming up an inning ago. And that will plate the first run of the ball game for Tennessee Tech. Putzig in pain, yet coming through.
This is just some courage. This is courage to finish. You just want to be involved. You've been a major contributor for a ball club. Chance, he's worried right here that he might get thrown out at first. You can see that's as hard as he can go. Gets there in time. That's a big, that's a momentum shifter right there. Not that it's going to cost you up, but now all of a sudden you have some momentum in your dugout. If you're Duke Ellis and you're in right field, I think maybe he thought about coming up throwing. I'm not sure Jake McKenzie recognized that.
Probably hasn't done that since 9U baseball. To right field, off the bat of Garza. Ellis is under it for the second out.
I'll tell you what, folks, I'll be the first one to admit it. Glenn Wilson from the Philadelphia Phillies threw me out at first on a base hit to right. So it has happened to everybody. You hit it hard enough, you make it easy for the other team to make the play.
Okay, did you have an excuse, or were you
I ran
just
as
slow?
hard as I could run.
No injuries or anything?
Nothing.
Just slow.
Just out. RBI, fielder's choice. Bases were loaded. One out. I never forgave him either. Glenn's a friend. Can't believe he threw me out at first.
How'd your teammates react to that?
Oh, I took abuse. Couldn't run out of sight in a week.
You also did a cartwheel after a home run with the Cubs, so we know there is some athleticism in there. So it is another interesting dynamic now that anytime Putzig is going to be on base, it's going to be a little bit of a logjam with his inability to really stretch it out with the wheels. 0-2, 2 outs. Boki facing Nick Osborne.
Started out 4 for 8. Did the Golden Eagles with 2 strikes. Since then, they are 3 for 38. Texas pitching's done a really good job of closing the door once they've gotten 2 strikes on the hitter.
And Ethan Roberts is still getting hot. I would imagine that he will enter this game in the bottom of the 4th.
First time we've seen Boki reach back and try to get a little extra right there. 2-2. A lot of times when you do that, you get off balance. He never could get back to his release point.
Putzig is off, slowly at that.
He's got to play station-to-station baseball. He's saying to his teammate right now, Nick, hit this ball out of the park where I can.
Let me jog.
Let me jog.
Maybe
At
walk
best.
it around. 7th pitch of the at-bat to Osborne. Popped up. McKenzie calling for it. Retreating. Has it. Omaha is on the line. It doesn't matter what is hurting. You gut it out for a chance to go to the promised land. Putzig doing just like that. And Tennessee Tech now on the board.
We can start.
4-1, we now welcome in their head coach, David Pierce. Coach, we talked so much about Cody Clemens. How about that at-bat from Ryan Reynolds, 2 strikes, delivering the first 2 runs of the game? What did you see there?
So big picking up 2 teammates because Jake doesn't get the bunt down, Tate doesn't execute to get the run in, and then Ryan just has a great at-bat with 2 strikes. Just an awesome at-bat.
And you look what Mateo's giving you, Coach. He's attacked the strike zone, especially in the early part of the game. He was downhill and used his fastball to both sides of the plate.
Yeah, he's been good. I mean, he really has. He's got something on the ball. They've probably eliminated his slider right now because he hadn't hit with it, but we need that pitch.
Coach Pierce, we appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Told us before the start of this game, if you do not have butterflies, something is wrong with you.
Well, if you don't have a pulse, if you're not excited about playing in one of these games.
And
you know who's the least nervous? Are the 18 guys that are out there playing.
Yeah.
Everybody else is the ones that are nervous.
This man has looked like he has ice in his veins all postseason long. Ethan Roberts, we knew it was just a matter of time before Roberts got the call. Pitched the final 4 innings of the Game 1 win for the Golden Eagles. Allowed 1 run on a single hit. 56 pitches. Keep in mind, we saw him on June 2nd throw 46 pitches against Missouri State. He came back after 1 day of rest and went 7 2/3 in a starting role against Ole Miss in the first elimination game and threw 107 pitches. So he could go to the distance if the Golden Eagles need him.
Well, he's got a dynamite pitch in his arsenal. You just don't see collegiate players throw it very often, and collegiate hitters have not seen it very often, and it's a cut fastball. It stays on the same plane. It doesn't have a lot of depth to it. It runs away from the right-handers, into the left-handers, and it is a dynamite pitch. And the other part, he's got impeccable command. See him in his first outing. Comes back, he can use the 2-seamer. You can see the sink right there, and then there's the cutter. And he comes back within the backdoor cutter to get a big strikeout.
One-two to Hibbler. Pokes it to the right side, foul. According to the TrackMan baseball platform that evaluates all sorts of data from all different pitchers, including spin rate, the cutter from Roberts is the #1 pitch in all of college baseball this season. The #1 pitch.
It's such an unusual pitch to go with that, too. You just don't see it very often. You really have to try to stay on top of it. Go the other way. This is a good at-bat right here. Hibbler, even though he's down in the count, he's already seen 6 pitches in the at-bat.
Hibbler came up with a clutch double his last time up in the 2nd inning. Chops it. Putzig makes the throw to Chambers. And there's 1 down. For more coverage of the Division I baseball regionals and interactive brackets, go to ncaa.com. The first of 4 games, all on the ESPN family. Game 3 of the Super Regionals. So we got 8 teams as it stands right now. Only 4 of them will advance. Florida and Auburn, the late game on ESPN. as the Gators trying to stay alive to go back-to-back as Tate Shaw first pitch swinging and a ground out to first.
And you look at that bracket, the game that follows us right here on ESPN2. Texas Tech in their home ballpark is hard to beat. Duke came out and got that win last night. And how about Arkansas and South Carolina? I tell you, that could be fireworks this evening in Fayetteville.
Arkansas has only lost 4 times at home all season. By the numbers, they are the best home team in college baseball. Half of those losses, as Reynolds gives it a rip for a single, have come at the hands of South Carolina.